Yep, this is it. The big reveal you've all been waiting for. I am a dog person. As in, I like dogs, not like I'm a person who's also a dog. That would be a furry. Okay, I know it's not a big deal, but dogs have been a pretty important part of my life so far, so I thought it would be fun to share some of my dog stories. Also, to get this out of the way, cats are fine. They're fine. I used to really not like cats because of this traumatic experience when I had them when I was like 8. I was sleeping over at my friend's house and I woke up in the middle of the night with these giant green eyes from hell looking into my soul. So I used to not like them. But over time, I met a lot of friendly cats, and now I just peacefully coexist with them. Anyways, let's talk about dogs. My first dog was Uno, an Australian Shepherd, God rest his soul. And he was the cutest, sweetest, most loving dog. But only to my family. Anyone else was just fair game. Seriously, this dog was like a fuzzy version of Two-Face from Batman. One minute he would curl up next to you because he knew you were sad, because he loved you and he wanted you to know it, and the next he would be targeting innocent old people on the street for a full-on assault.
Target acquired.
Now, I was too small to have any responsibility over him at that point in my life, but I know from stories that he was a real troublemaker. A real rascal, if you will. I think my favorite story from Uno's prime was the time he decided to take a tram all by himself. I used to live in the Netherlands as a wee child, and trams were pretty common there. Uno, being the competitive dog he was fixated on the idea that he needed to race every single tram he saw. Now, most of the time, if he managed to escape, he would just run behind the trams until he got tired and then come back home. But this one time, my sister was taking him for a walk, and he decided to pull off a 10 million IQ move. Out of the blue, he just dashed for the tram once it had stopped, and he probably just wanted to catch the tram when it was stationary, but instead, he just... And off he went. We never saw him again. Just kidding. He got off at the next stop and seemed pretty worried about the whole situation, but I don't think he ever chased trams again after that. My other dog is my current dog, Leo, or Leo for my American viewers. And I'm just now realizing that maybe my family has a thing for monosyllabic dog names ending with O. I mean, it works, but... Anyways, Leo's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and he's just Leo. He's the goofiest, dumbest, laziest dog I've ever met. He's actually only ever done one smart thing in his whole life, and that's learning how to open doors. And, well, you can imagine how that went down. My dad actually decided to get a Rhodesian because he wanted a scary guard dog. But bless his soul, he's just too kind. Honestly, his size is the most dangerous thing about him. He's more likely to hurt you by giving you a hug than by actually biting you. Unfortunately, people don't tend to get that, and I totally understand. But sometimes I just feel like he's so misunderstood. In fact, the meanest dogs are the little ones. I've only ever been bitten by a dog once, and it was by one of those tiny little demons. I was just walking my dog, minding my own business, and this tiny little dog gets terrified because Leo's like 10 times his size, so he just launches at him. And my dog's like... And I don't want him to start biting back, so I grab him and this little black ball of hatred just... But I guess the reality of the situation is that a dog's personality is just determined by their owner. That's why it's so important to be knowledgeable on dogs and their behavior before you get a dog. Because if not, they're just going to end up aggressive and unhappy. Which is a shame because dogs have the potential to be some of the greatest companions known to humankind. I had the pleasure of growing with Uno and caring for him when he was an old, groggy floof, and the joy of raising Leo to be the distinguished gentleman he is today. And I can confidently say that they've been some of my best friends, oddball additions to my crazy family. And yes, there's been plenty of frustration and stress along the way, but there's been a hell of a lot more love. And honestly, I wouldn't change it for the world.